Meet at the Creek. Real faith, real life, real talk.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Meet at the Creek podcast. And I'm your host. Some call me Doc, some just call me Preach, some just call me Uncle James, some call me Cousin. Tonight I got a very special guest here with me in studio. I'm going to learn one of these days to turn the volume back down. I forget that thing's on repeat. Hey, man. Well, my little cousin, and I'm very, very proud to call him my cousin, and Mr. Travon Phillips, a senior at Scottsboro High School, and the starting left tackle for the football team for the Scottsboro High School Wildcats. And Travon, good to have you on, my man.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Well, you almost dipped out on me because I was getting a little nervous. Thought I was going to have to do the Meet at the Creek alone edition. How you been doing, man?
Good. Practice it every day. Cold out there.
I heard. That's the way it is in Alabama. It goes from 120 to 20
Sure does.
in about 15 minutes. So I'm getting old, and the older I get, the farther away I got to look at my notes here. And I made some notes just so I could carry the conversation a little bit, because I know you're scared. I see you nervous over there.
Yes, sir.
I wish you would have been this scared when you played North Jackson.
No, I couldn't do that.
I'm just kidding, Coach Van. I know you. I'm just kidding. So we got a lot of folks watching tonight. I see you guys tuning in, and I really appreciate it. Y'all do us a favor, like and share if you hadn't already. Like and share. Get this thing rolling out to everybody and as many folks as we can. Anyways, I tried to tag as many as I could in, especially family members. I know you got some folks that we're probably going to be watching tonight, chiming in. There's Mr. Kevin Holder. Hello, brother. Good to see man. You know, me and Kevin played junior high football together way, way back in the day. Me and him, we remember what it's like to be cold. Brother Patrick Henniger said, "What's up, Preach?" And Travon, how y'all doing? We're doing good, man.
Yes, sir.
There's Hunter Haswell. Good to see you, Hunter. Miss Dawn, the princess, says, "Aw, my favorite." She ain't never met to you, has she? If you're her favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Teresa Moore watching. Hello, Miss Teresa. Good to see you on here as well. Y'all do us a favor, like and share if you don't care. Travon is like I already said tonight, starting left tackle for the Scottsboro High School Wildcats, region champs, by the way. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Earned a hard fought victory. Had to win some games that people probably didn't expect you to win, and you came out on top. Those are big things, and Travon's been a huge part of the Wildcats' success this year. And even though I'm the chaplain for North Jackson, he's family, so I still root for him to do well, and then always root for Scottsboro to do well. I only want him to lose one game, and that's just the way it is. But what y'all won, we lost, and I was still happy for you. And because I know most of the guys on Scottsboro's team anyway, so it's hard for me to be mad or upset. But it just is what it is. But this year, Travon doing a little something abnormal for him. Going to be something you used to do. You just stopped doing it, I guess, long about junior high school. And you've rejoined the basketball team. Going to play for Coach Bell.
Yes, sir.
This winter. I'm excited about that because I'm the PA guy for Scottsboro basketball, so I get to see more of you. I just saw you from the bleachers,
Yes, sir.
last year, and the year before. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Travon. How old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
17 years old.
Yes,
And golly, just be honest with you. Brooke said him and LK just don't know yet. I don't even know what that means. Do you know what
What'd
it
she
means?
say?
She said him and LK just don't know yet. Then the cake.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means either. Anyway, Granny Bonnie chimed in, said she's watching. Sharon Hass says she's watching. Good to have y'all watching. Like and share now, or love. Better yet, give us a love and a share. Miss Kathy Helms, her and Brother Frank, you know, you're familiar with them. She says she loves Coach Bell, so she's familiar with him. So good to have Miss Kathy watching. There's my other daughter from Augusta, Georgia, tuning in tonight, Caitlin. Hola, Papa, she says. And Brooke Bunch, she said, you and LK just don't know yet. She said, see above comment. She said, my future son-in-law.
Oh, yeah, she said that a couple times already to me before.
Whew. If that happens, bless your heart is all I
bet. I think Papa was supposed to be in here. He said he's going to be in the comment section. Commenting a lot.
All right. That's great. Cody Martin chiming in tonight. And I tell you what, a lot of folks rooting for Travon to do different things. We'll leave it at that. 17 years old, and he looks like a grown man. I'm telling you, I'm scared to death. Like I've said before, just don't eat me. Whatever you do, just don't eat me. If you get mad, just ease out. Travon, I asked a few folks about you, and because I know you, but I'm a little biased. I'll just be honest. I'm a little biased, just because of how close you and I have become over the years. So I obviously have my own idea about who I think you are. You're not perfect, but neither am I or anybody else. But I think you're an outstanding guy. But I did ask a few other people about you, and these are some of the comments I got back. And I think it's important tonight for you to hear some of the things that people say about you. A little rowdy at times, be a little rambunctious. You have the natural instinct just to be a young boy, like we all did. But these are some other things that were said about you, especially in the last year. You've shown exceptional work ethic. You made your mind up to do better, to work harder, to be better at your craft, to be better at football, just to be a better guy. And you've started to do that, and work ethic, becoming a leader, just in your own realm, not just in the locker room, but in your realm of influence. You're becoming a leader. You also have a heart for people, and a heart for your teammates. And today we're going to talk a little bit about your journey through football and other sports, and maybe what motivates you a little bit, what's coming next for you, and just a little bit about you. So it's good to have you on the show. So how did Travon get involved in athletics to begin with? Can you remember?
Let me be honest.
Go ahead.
So my mom knows like my little league football coach, and they were like friends. And
I know him too. By the way.
Paige, yeah. Paige came to my mom one day. He's asking if Trey wanted to play football, and I was like, I didn't really want to. Because the running and all that stuff like that when I was young, And my mom was like, "Well, you're gonna go out there, and I'll make you go out there." And so she made me play. Even like during the practices, she'll sit on like the benches watching me cry sometimes. Like when we had to do these certain drills, and it sucked running around and all type of stuff like that, hitting. Like I just didn't like it at like 5 years old, and I kind of like grew into it. I feel like it was just always there. I just didn't really I didn't look past all the hard stuff,
Right.
And just like 'cause I was just a little kid, and as I was getting older and stuff like that, I always thank my mom for like putting me in there, because like there's like a lot of aspects that go into like football, like teaches you a lot of things. And as I was growing up, I like figured out a little bit of things like little by little, and that's basically how it started. She just made me start playing football.
So in Little League, when I think we had Little League for 1 year when I was in elementary school. And I was just like, I didn't really want to do it, but I got made to do it. The sport that I was made to play that I hated was baseball. And nothing against baseball and baseball players. I'm sure it's a wonderful game for people who like it. But it's like golf. It just never was my thing, man. I some things a fella just knows he's not meant to do. And baseball was the sport that I was never meant to play, but I was good at it, especially hitting. Man, I'm big, strong in the upper body. You know, your grandpa had me up here when I was your age and younger. I was the guy having to throw the hay bales up on the trailer. He was the guy who drove the trailer around. If he ever had to come out of the driver's seat, he was angry and very frustrated.
Sounds something like him.
So you're very familiar with that. And he would make fun of me until I picked it up. That's how I learned what peer pressure was, But I idolized my Uncle Jerry. He was larger than life, literally, when I was a kid. He was so big, and I was so scared of him. But he came from a very different upbringing. And the more I learned about that, the older I got, the more I understood why he did things. And I very much appreciated, his influence, the positive things. I try to only talk about the positive things, but he was a product of his generation. He was a product of his generation. I can't think of a single individual on this planet that I'm prouder of than him. How far he's come. So, like, I'm sure he drives you insane, because he's grandpa, and I know how I do my grandkids. I mean, I'm probably not as hard on him as he is, but how the transformation from him. I knew him 40 years ago. I was familiar with him 40 years ago. I promise you, he's a very, very different individual today than he was 40 years ago, and I am so proud of how far he's come as a human being, as a person. He is not the same guy. He's still subject to get on a man's nerves sometimes. He's watching, I'm sure he's going to hear that. But I really, me and my dad had a rocky relationship growing up. We're good now. And I'm also very proud of my dad, how far he's come. He's changed a whole lot. And there's some personality conflicts here and there, but I'm very proud of him. And he's making strides and trying to do better. And, but for many, many years, Jerry was my male role model. He did all the things that I thought were cool, and threatened me if I ever did them. He was gonna do harm to me. But that's just the way it was. Natalie says Travon, and Don Jeffrey says, "Do what I told you to do, Travon." I don't know what she told you to do, but she said, "Do what I told you to do." Uncle Jerry said, "Get him, James Roy."
I knew it.
Hey, there he is. He's in there. He is in there. I did not mean to reply to her comment. Oh, that's what Caitlin said. Somebody said, I've witnessed Uncle Jerry get out of the truck on Travon church parking lot over how he parked.
Probably.
I saw that too. So, a lot of people don't know. They don't know what we're talking about, and we're just going on, but we're not going to spend the whole time talking about, my Uncle Jerry. But I want to use that to segue into this part. People like that change your perspective about life. You're just 17 years old. Your perspective about in your worldview is going to change probably 2 to 3 more times by the time you're my age. And I know that, and I don't expect you to know that yet, but you will. You'll learn that, and it will change. But it's already changed, quite a bit. I know Jerry's been a big part of your life. Who are some other guys that have come along into your life, maybe that have shaped the way you think about just life in general, or maybe how you approach certain aspects of your life?
Well, I want to say you, because like me and Papa, well, like I used to go to this old church, and then I left that and came over here, and I didn't know how I was gonna go, from the start, and I really liked it. Grew into the church and became family with everybody, and just everybody knows me. Have a good relationship with everybody. You have been there for quite some time too, also in my life, and you've shaped it to the better. You've always been there for me. I feel like even since it was short time, Coach Van, like he's been there, like the ups and downs. He's had my back no matter what. Like whatever it comes to, he'll have my back before really anybody else will. He's a big role model to me. Paige, like going through Little League, he was always there since my dad hasn't been he hasn't been around, and he played that role model too. So does my grandpa. Like even though we were talking about him, but my dad hasn't been around. Papa's been there. He's played both roles, grandpa and dad, and that's why I love him so much. It's my best friend too. Like
Yeah. Hey, man, if people don't. I think some people may see that they may see him getting on you, but like me, I just laugh
it's
because
just tough love.
I just laugh because I know how much love that he has in his heart for you. That it spills out in his frustration because he wants you to be perfect. He wants you to do everything perfect. And, I think in Coach Van's like that. Coach Van demands, he demands effort. I think most people can live with mistakes and stuff like that. As long as they see you trying, they're going to give you down the road. Then they're going to show you how to fix it. And then they expect you to work on it and get better. And the people that are like that, those guys that come into our lives that do us that way, them's the dudes that you'll never forget.
Especially Coach Van coming in here, and everybody was like, didn't know how it was gonna go. And then last year we had a good season, and then just like this year and last year, our bond together is like grew. Like I can go to him about anything. And what I like about Coach Van is like it'll be outside of football. Like we won't be on the field, not to go on with football, and he'll still make sure he has your back and stuff like that. Like during school, he'll have your back no matter what. And I just like having somebody in my corner that like shows that they're like behind my back no matter what, through the ups and downs.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, the work I get to do, up the road in North Jackson, and I've developed relationships with those coaches, Coach Hollis, Coach Steele, Coach Cooper, Coach Williams, those guys. Coach Schrader, Coach Houston. I learn them. They're more than just names to me now. Like I get to see them. I see how they interact, just with the players. And some of those coaches teach. They're there. They're walking the halls, and they're invested in the lives of these guys. And I'm sure it's the same way for you. Probably more than just Coach Van. I'm sure there are other coaches that you feel, you got special bonds with, you just connected to them, not in a weird way, but just just a respectful, just like a friend, but and I guess on the other side of it now, I know how much those coaches invest in the lives of their players. And they really want to see you succeed. So I understand what you mean when you say, you feel like he has your back, because I've seen it, out of other people. And a lot of people don't know this. I knew Coach Van's dad. I'm actually buddies with his dad through the ministry. We go way back. And we used to sit together when I was pastoring up in Tennessee. I went to a lot of meetings and stuff like that on the mountain and things like that where they were at and where he was at. And so like I got to know his dad when Tyler was just a little kid. He was still just a boy. And now that's been, gosh, I don't know. He couldn't have been more than 14, 15 years old when I first saw him, and I kind of got to know him. It's a really, really great thing, man, to see. And I'm very happy for him, the success that he's having at Scottsboro. I know most everybody that I know down there really likes him. They like the way he does things. They like the way that he coaches, the way he conducts himself, the way he handles himself, not just on the field, but off the field. And he's being a good role model for you guys. here in a few more weeks, basketball is going to start. You're going to have another one of the finest guys to ever walk a sideline, in Jason Bell. You know, going to be the same way. He's gonna get on your head and expect a lot out of you. But he loves his players, man. You know, I never found. There's been just few people. Coach Kirkland, Jerry Kirkland, was my basketball coach back in the day, and he would run me till I puke. You know, and I'd be over there on the side, you know, seeing pink stars, about to pass out, and he'd still be yelling at me. You know, then when practice was over, you know, when everybody else was gone, and I'm dragging butt trying to get out of there, just can't barely walk. He'd put his arm around my neck, you know, and tell me how proud he was, and just encourage me to keep working hard. He would say things to me like, "I know you're not where everybody else is. If everybody had your heart, if everybody would push themselves to the place where you push yourself, we would never lose a game." And man, that just encouraged me to work harder. Even though I wasn't the best player, I loved basketball. It was my favorite sport, and the Lord just didn't give me the body, you know, to go any farther with it. I was like a bowling ball, you know. They put me in the game when somebody needed fouled. Yeah, what's up? When I was like the Arn Anderson of the basketball team. I'm just kidding. They didn't. No, I'm really not kidding. They would put me in when they needed somebody. They would waste fouls. You know, when they need somebody to go in and foul somebody, I was the guy. But then, you know, I got to play a lot. But I that's where I developed my love, I think, of team. You know, I decided early on that I knew I wasn't going to get to play. It wasn't nobody's fault. It wasn't my fault. I just wasn't as gifted as other folks. And it was what it was. But I enjoyed the team. That was my family. And I really enjoy, and I have wanted and desired and am still a part of a team today. I don't think I could do without a team. You know, you hear, well, I think Nick Saban says that a lot. You know, he's always been a part of a team as far as he can remember. And that's kind of the way I feel. I really enjoy being part of the team. Even the church. I feel like the church, you know, in a lot of ways has become a team for me. And I can't think of anything else that I enjoy as much as I enjoy being a part of a team. So for you, being part of a team, just, you said it already, from 5 years old, it's just something you've always, you know, been kind of made to do. What made you fall in love with football? I know you said you grew into it, but was there a moment where, you know, kind of the light came on and you just said, this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
I feel like the championship game, my first year, when we won the championship game, we was the only team to win in the Little League, and just like the atmosphere and like just like lining it up in front of somebody else, like through Little League, it's just like I just feel like it shot a spark in me, and then like I just kept going with it, stuck with it, no matter how bad it was, and I feel like that moment like changed a lot of things and just made me want to like actually play without anybody making me. Like I just loved the game from then.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know Paige was huge for you, you know, back then. He was a huge part of the Little League. I know some other guys, same way, you know, they kind of grabbed a group early and stayed with them all the way through. That's just the way we used to do it. You know, when you got a team or a coach that you just stay with them. If they move, you move. You know, it's kind of just the way it was. So I'm sure in the process of that, you kind of already alluded to it a little bit, that there was a grind. You didn't enjoy that grind to begin with. What were some things that you had to do mentally? How did you overcome the hatred of the grind?
I feel like, every day we stepped out there, it was a grind, you know. I feel like I just had to like stop listening to my head and just like the things that was like telling me to like I need to quit this, I need to stop playing this, and like after a little while I was listening to that sometimes, but then I just like decided to like lock in, I guess you'd say, and just like just live in the moment, just keep playing in that moment, and just like go day by day and just keep grinding and just stay locked in throughout the whole entire process.
So how do you manage your time now that you've taken on a second sport? How you managing that with school?
I mean, it's not too hard. I mean, just I go to school and the football, and then about when football's over, basketball will be here. But I don't know. I just like I try to like time management. I get as much sleep as I can in, so I can have energy to do those things. And I'll put them two things first, and then I'll worry about the other stuff later on if I have time and stuff like that.
Do you think playing basketball is going to help you?
I feel like it. I feel like it is. I've always loved playing basketball. It's just I didn't really like. I wanted to focus on one sport, and then like I would go to the basketball games like last year and my sophomore year and stuff like that, and just like wish I was out there, And then senior year, I don't know. I heard those tryouts and saw it on the door when I walked into school, and just saw it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna give this a try. So I tried it out and made it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm excited about the prospect of seeing you and Cooper and taking on the floor at the same time.
Oh my!
I mean, who's coming through that?
Oh my!
I mean, it's gonna be, it's gonna be rough, for people to out physical that, and I'm sure Coach Bell's, looking at his chops too. He's probably excited about it as well. Now, I know you're pursuing football after high school. That's something with, and back in the old days, if somebody didn't put your name out there or get film into the hands of coach or something like that, there was not a lot of opportunity, and honestly, there weren't as many people playing football. There just wasn't as much football to be played, wasn't as many scholarships to be had. And, we're living in different times now. With NIL, football is huge. And so it's trickled down and even into small colleges. I know you're looking at that. I'm sure basketball is going to help keep you in shape, keep you better prepared for that. With Huddle the way it is, there's, your film is available. I know for a fact that a few people have made calls, and while they were on the phone, those people just, logged into their Huddle, looked you up, and, we're looking at film and things like that. So that's pretty cool. When you think about it, it's also kind of nerve wracking, I would imagine.
A little bit. It's okay though.
So where would you like to go when high school's over? What does the future, if Travon gets everything that he wants, what does that look like for him?
Well, obviously I want to play college football somewhere. That's the best fit for me. I want to pursue in cybersecurity or business, but if college football doesn't work out, I want to go to a 4-year and then major in one of them. I just got accepted to JSU, but I would like to go there. I like that place. But yeah, I want to major in business and cybersecurity, but I hope football works out though, because like for my freshman and sophomore year, a little bit of my junior year, I didn't really see myself playing college football. But then after the UNA camp, we were driving back, and we just got done with the camp, and we're driving back, and Coach Van asked me, he said, "Travon, do you really want to play college football?" And I sat there and I was like, well, I've always thought I didn't want to, but then I don't know, it's just started coming to me more than I think about it, and I want to play. And then so I took some time thinking about it. Do I want to play? Do I not? I just sat down and just thought about it, and I came to the conclusion that I really want to play college football. And then so I've just been grinding this year. I've had some up and downs. I feel like everybody does, one bad play, you just gotta make it up with a good play and stuff like that. But I feel like I really want to play college football.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because, I don't think people who, people who don't play sports, they hear people talk about it. They hear people on TV talk about it. When you have a bad play, you do something stupid, get in trouble, get a flag. How do you turn that off? How do you put that away and just go play the next play? How does that work for a 17-year-old young man?
Well, I just think about it like this. it just, like, the last play just went bad. I just got to forget about it, throw it out of my head, because I can't go back and redo it. You know, I can't get that play back and redo it. So, like, the step forward is just keep going. And then, like, the next play and the play after that, just make sure I, like, do my best on it. And if I mess up again, just forget about it. Can't go back to it, you know, just, like clear it out of my mind.
So, I mean, do you just say, it's okay?
Well,
or do you?
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to get you in trouble a little bit.
I get a little mad. I mean, I sit there, I'll be like, dang it. Well, I probably don't say dang it. But,
you better not be saying something.
Nah, I say dang it. But,
liar.
Natalie would know. She came with me.
She got you.
I mean, I try to keep my cool, because I know there's like so many people watching, so I was just like, I don't want to show too much emotion to me messing up. But I try to forget about it. Like, I know it's still up in my head, like, dang, I just messed up on this last play. Mm-hmm. But then I'll just try to capitalize every single time.
Yeah. I see a few more people have tuned in tonight. Craig Holcomb, Gerald Carter, Kim Baker, Cullen Jones. Good to have all y'all tuned in. Craig's in here, as usual, making fun of me. There's Amber Phillips. It's your aunt. So proud to call him my nephew. I know they're all proud of you, just like I am. I want to talk just a minute about your team. And, you know, as a senior, obviously all seniors play a leadership role, you know, in some shape or form on the team. How do you know, how has that went for you? I mean, it's probably not something that you ever thought you'd be doing. I'm sure, you know, you never really had, like you said, you know, going past this wasn't something you ever desired to do till recently. But when you make your mind up to do those kind of things, you just kind of naturally assume the role. So how do people respond to that change in you? Because that takes a mentality change to step from this level to the next. How do your teammates respond to that?
Well, like, I feel like some of them feed off me, but there'll be some days where, like, I'm gonna be honest, there's some days like I slack on the leadership part, you know. But I feel like the days that I am leading, and I need to be like, that's one thing I need to work on, is like be able to lead like consistently and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And when I do that, when they see I'm doing that, like they feed off that, and they buy in to like what I'm saying and like what we're trying to do and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of freshmen and stuff like that we have on the team that, like, that's most of them have bought in, like, to like all the seniors, and some, like, I feel like I'm a leader to some of them. But the days that like I slack off that, I just feel like they're not bought in, but I just need to stay consistent.
What is something special about this year's your teammates, or just your team in general this year? What is something special about this group?
I feel like, especially the senior group, like we all realize that like it's our last ride all together, and most of us like the little league team, there's like 4 or 5, maybe more than that, was on that team ever since we were 5, and they just like, we all grew up, and like we know that it's coming down to like the last couple snaps and couple games, and I feel like going back-to-back region champs, it was something special for our team. Yeah. We really wanted that. Like, we've like jumped people's ship so much about that exact week, like, because it's like we all know how important it was teaching every one of our seniors and stuff like that, even the juniors too. Like, they wanted to go back-to-back as bad as we did, and I like that everybody's bought in and to what we have this year.
Uh-huh. If you could describe your team, this year's team, in one word, what would that word be, and why would it be that word?
I feel like gritty, like, and why to that is because everybody, like, last year, like Coach Van said, there's some people that jumped off the ship because we didn't have number 7, Jake Jones, you know, back there in quarterback, and we lost some of our defense and offense, and we had a whole new offensive line basically coming in, and I just feel like we knew it was going to be a grind. We knew, like, we had Colton, we had Noah, and then he got hurt, sadly. But we had Colton, a sophomore quarterback, coming in. He stepped up, and everybody just bought into like what we had going on, because like our defense is really good, our offense is really good, and I just feel like everybody knew they had to like grind each and every day to get better, because there's like some places we're undersized, we're not as big, and just everybody knew on the team that it was going to be a grind.
It's not what I expected you to say. Gritty was not the word I expected you to say, but you did good. It was good. That was real good. So we'll transition just a little bit here. We'll talk a little bit about challenges. Everybody faces challenges. What is the toughest obstacle that you have faced, and how did you overcome it?
I feel like when I was younger, when I lost my Aunt Janice, I think that was one of the toughest times, because I was sitting there crying in the funeral room by my papa. And my papa was just sitting there telling me it was going to be all right, just going through that. When I lost my great-grandfather, we weren't as close, but, like, it's still, like, that part of family that like, you have. And that was a sad time. But I just had to just keep moving forward, keep my head down, keep going. I don't think I could think of anything else. I don't think.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, you're just 17, man. You ain't had to go through.
I haven't faced too much.
The hardest parts of life of kind of still yet to come. There will be others, and having said that, you bring up a really, I mean, it's near and dear to my heart, but at the same time, these people that you talk about, these are people who have in their lives, when they know what it's like to work very, very hard, like guys that you never got to meet. Your dad's dad and his grandpa. We talk about them. You heard stories about them. They were gentle in their old age. They were very gentle. The people that I knew were very, very. They'd already kind of ran their course and were settling down as I was, getting old enough to remember. But before then, the stories that I learned afterward, these were some rough dudes, man. And they didn't know anything except for hard work. These were the people who taught your papa and my mom and me, and had influence on our lives. Quitting was not an option. No matter how much suck was involved in life as it looked in your face, quitting was not an option. And that's part of the reason, that when these people, transition out of your lives and nature has its way, life just does it to you, whether you like it or not. One of the things you're going to learn, in the future is you will overcome, and stay in the course. Just keeping your head in the game is, even if it's just a game of life, just staying focused on playing the next play. Things you're learning in football and basketball, you're gonna apply to your regular life once you move out into that. So you just always remember that. Now, you mentioned earlier about, when you come into here, you used to go to Grace, I think it was, before you came here, and a lot of good folks. I know a lot of those folks. I know some of your friends, went there, and then some of those guys moved, started going different places, and then we started this, and of course you kind of just gravitated here with your family, kicking and screaming, begrudgingly even. But like you said, people became very fond of you very fast. You're a likable fella. They're likable folks for the most part. So how do you, Natalie said, by the way, she said she promised you that she would keep it a secret. So she's not going to tell on you. Granny Bonnie said.
I hope not.
Well, Granny Bonnie heard it too. But anyway, your papa chimed in and said he ain't nobody's son-in-law. Hands off. And Granny Bonnie says, absolutely. I haven't seen Brooke Bunch comment yet. She must not have seen it. Dawn Jeffrey, she says, I see Travon almost every day. I'm very proud of the young man he has become. It's hard to believe you're fixing to graduate. What a blessing you are to her. She says she loves you. I wish I could get her to talk to me that sweet. You know,
It's okay.
What are you doing, man? I know what you're doing. You're smiling. Oh, goodness gracious. So your faith, your focus on life, just in general, whether it's a tough opponent or a hard week, what role do you think, that faith plays, in your life? I mean, as far as how that transitions into the other parts of your life outside of the church.
It plays a big role, in my life. I feel like I just take the time, when everything's going bad, I can just resort my options back to, the Lord, and I can just sit there and talk to him no matter what, just wherever I'm at, And speaking about that, my Papa played a big role in that too, because we would go on truck drives, because the truck driver, and every single night we would get on our knees and we'd pray together. We'll lock arms and pray and stuff like that. And I didn't really know why exactly we did that when I was younger, but as I grew up, it was I started catching on to that, and I'll do that on my own too. Every night I'll do that, and before every football game, just to make sure I know that he's there by my side throughout whatever goes on, And he's played a big role in that in my life.
I tell stories about, some of the things that, and that's wonderful. I do remember him talking about, calling you guys every night. He have prayer, with you. You'd be out on the road, be at home. He'd call and say your prayers, before you go to bed. And, those are always fun conversations, that I get to have with him, because, he's animated, to say the least. And so those are fun times to hear. And it always made me feel, doing what I do, it always made me feel some type of way, you know what I mean? Just in a good way, knowing that, that was happening for him, that he was having opportunities to do things with you guys that he had never had anybody really get to, really do for him, or with him. And seeing him transition to a guy who wants to be a positive influence in everybody's life. It's amazing to see that on my end. But what lessons do you think that you have learned from football that are going to go with you beyond football?
How to handle adversity. I feel like that's one of the main things that will stick with me, no matter what is going on, through the ups and downs. To be it's teaching me how to be a man too. There's a lot of aspects that comes to mind, but I don't know. I think those are the main two.
I want to break just a minute from football, and let's talk about your hobbies. Now, I'm just going to say it like this. You're a country boy. Just ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You like to fish. You like to hunt. You like to hang out with your buddies. It's more than just, you're not just a football guy. You're not just a basketball. So you're not just a sports guy. You also like to do other stuff that don't involve sports. Or is there anything else that you like to do that maybe the world don't know about?
I like to golf. I'm not good at it at all.
I'm a worm burner myself. I can't golf.
It's still fun. My buddy got me into it a little bit, but
I putt-putt. I like to putt-putt golf. I've never been able to drive a golf ball. I've tried. I'm just not. I probably would enjoy it if I could figure it out, but I'm not willing to spend that kind of money to figure it out. So you like to golf? I can't believe you like to golf. What is there anything besides
sport,
sports related? I know you like to fish and hunt. Is there anything else that people wouldn't think that you would enjoy doing that you actually like to do? A hobby or just a passion?
I like to draw.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like to draw a little bit. I like to sing, even though I don't sound too good. But
Well, I wouldn't know because you don't sing anymore. You
you're
quit.
right. I used to do solos all the time, but I don't know. I don't think I sounded as good as I used to do. So I don't know.
You just don't practice that. Probably
not.
We need to work on that.
I need to. Natalie's been trying to get me. She's always trying to get me to sing with her and stuff like that. So I might have to do that.
That'd be cool, man. Especially before you graduate.
You're right.
That'd be cool. We need to make that happen. Well, so we know a little bit about your physical stuff. We know about your fun stuff. We know about a little bit about your faith, and we know that it's how it's influenced you. What about your family? What role would you say that your family has played in motivating you, or in any of the success you've had in any area of your life?
That played a big role. My mom, especially, she as a single parent, with 3 kids, it's been hard, especially twins, because I know me and my sister's a handful, and then my little brother. But one thing that she's always on top of our grades, that mainly doing right, and Papa as well. My grandmother, she's always been there too as well. Love her for that. My aunt, she's like another mom for me. She makes sure I'm good and all type of things. But my whole entire family's been there behind my back. They stand by me all the time through the ups and downs, no matter what's going on. They'll stick with me no matter what. That's another resource that I have that I can always go back to. Anybody in my family just to talk to, sit down, tell them what's going on, and they can always give me an answer to what's happening.
A lot of people, some people still don't know that you and Tia are twins. You guys you guys are a lot alike. You're a lot more alike than people think you are. But the difference is that's between you guys, they're monstrous. I mean, they're really, really, those differences make it seem like you don't have anything in common. But the reality is you share a common personality. Both of you are you're pretty grounded. You're not super emotional. You don't react, violently to anything, even though it may really, really hurt your feelings. I've noticed that about both of you. You don't react too swiftly to anything. Tia's probably a little bit better at that than you are. She's probably a whole lot better at that
Probably
than you are, actually. But she is a different person. She has her own worldview. She has her own ideas, her own goals. What's it been like having a twin sister?
It's been amazing. I mean, someone I can go to all the time. We can just talk. But growing up, me and my sister was we had a great bond. And then I feel like when high school hit, we went our separate ways. We used to have classes together all the time, growing up and stuff. But when high school hit, we didn't even have one class our freshman year, except homeroom. And I feel like when we went to our different little hangout, our different buddies and stuff like that, we kind of floated apart a little bit. But I told Papa recently and a little before that, I wanted my the bond with me and my sister to get stronger than what it ever was. And now me and my sister, we'll just she'll come in my room, just sit on my bed, and we'll just talk, and she's always had a shoulder to lean on whenever she needed it, to someone to talk to. And I just feel like I've always tried to be there for her, as a bigger brother, older brother, just no matter what, just be there for her.
So who's smarter, you or her?
Me.
Who makes better grades?
My sister. She's way smarter than I am. But I don't tell her that, though.
Yeah,
I don't want to boost her ego.
Who's the better driver? Oh, it's got to be her.
Well,
I've seen your truck.
Okay, besides them two two Rex and me.
You tell that to the tourists, brother. I live here.
You're right. Oh yeah.
We asked Jerry who is the better driver, Travon or Tia. We'll wait on him to answer. Kim Becker said, I did not know they were twins till I saw the twins video that y'all made. That's pretty neat. Jackie Belvin said, Travon is a good kid. Tells every Dawn every day that he loves her. She said, Jackie also said that Tia is so sweet. It's amazing how people think that about us, ain't it? So we know that your family's played a big role, in your life. Obviously, I've known Amanda since she was born. I remember the day she was born. Jonathan and Amber, I still remember, the pregnancy announcements. It's a lot of people don't know this, but when Amber was born, when she was a toddler, I was her hero. She don't remember that either. But, I was early on, but I was in junior high then and going into high school. And I was the, the older cousin and I hung out I was with Jerry so much, back then that I kind of became like the older brother. So for many, many years, every time, when I left, she would cry. She would ask where I was. She couldn't wait to come, where I was at, because she wanted to follow me around everywhere I went. And then it's kind of life carried us both different directions. We sort of drifted apart, but then I don't even know how it kind of happened, but just as life started happening to me, I started kind of introverting. I guess I'm an outgoing person. Because of stuff like this that I do, I enjoy broadcasting as my fishing and hunting. I'm good at hunting. I'm decent at fishing, but it's just not something that I do a lot. Don't have a lot of opportunity, but the broadcasting, PA work, the thing I wanted to do in life was be a DJ. I've said that here, in the church. I always wanted to be a DJ, and the Lord just never would. He just knew I was going to act a fool. I'd be one of them TikTok DJ guys, if I had my way about it, I'd be making money playing music. But that is just, me. But my family always knew that. They got me in the radio business. Granny, went and plugged on my behalf. She don't know that I know that, but I know she got me my first job at the radio station. And, she went and spoke for me. And it set a path for me, to do the kind of work that I'm doing now. And all of this stuff that I do, this volunteer stuff that I do, it was because she got me that first opportunity, which really, and you understand this, it ignited the passion inside of me it's something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I knew that was something I wanted to be involved in. Whether I got to do it as a career or not was irrelevant. I always wanted to be involved in this field, some way, shape, or form. And Amber said Tia on grades, neither on driving.
Of course you would say that.
Oh, we gotta leave them ants, man. They'll come right in there and get you when you're not looking. Mm-hmm. So after graduation, we already established you want to play football, and you want to play football. Where do you want to play football? I know you said you like JSU, but is there anybody else showing any interest that you have any interest in? Can you even talk about it? If you can't talk about it, that's fine.
Well, I've had some small schools text me a lot on Twitter and on my number and stuff like that. But Coach Van said there's some people asking about me and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like I need to have a good rest of this regular season and playoffs, and maybe something will come around. Who said something this time?
Jerry did.
Oh,
he
wow.
said, since you came on the show, I got to go frog gigging. I'm not going frog gigging. bruh, I love you, but I ain't doing it. Number one, I'm not getting in the boat after dark. Ain't nothing good happens in a boat after dark. I mean, I just, I ain't got no desire to be on swamp people. He make you go frog gigging with him? No. Mm-mm. See there, you said us. Like Travon was coming with. So now I know.
You know he's getting old a little bit. He don't really get out no more.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, don't ever let the dude talk you and go and snipe hunting. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he's told me about that multiple times. I said I cannot be out there by myself in the dark because he'll probably leave me out there.
That's exactly what he planned on doing. I can tell you. He even showed me his official snipe hunting membership card to convince me to go. My mama tried to tell me not to do it. I didn't listen. So yeah, hacksaw. That's a hard pass.
I can't do it.
I have heard a few names. I'm not going to say any names. So how does that process work though? Like with the recruiting? I mean, we talked about it a minute ago. How does that actually work for a high school kid? You mentioned Coach Van. Do your coaches take care of that pretty well for you?
Yes, sir. They do. Yes, sir.
They handle all of the traffic and the noise for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They do. Rupert, he plays a big role in that. Like every single week, he takes me have a good game, and he sent out film to a lot of schools, Liberty and Reinhardt College, like these small schools. Mm-hmm. Liberty's a pretty big school, but he's played a big role in that. But yeah, the coaches they handle all of it mainly.
That's cool. And I imagine, this year being your senior year, your film's probably catching a lot out. So I know you mentioned going to camp. I mean, I never got to go when I was, your age, but how does that work? I mean, what goes into going to camps what's it like, from the time you arrive, how does that go for a kid?
Well, it was kind of like a game. Like you're always nervous until like it actually starts, but especially when we went up to UNA, like it was my first one going to, and it was like it was nerve wracking. Like as soon as I walked out there, like I was like, man, these ain't gonna be that many people. There was so many people there. Like I was like shocked, blown out of my mind. Like it was like the line was backed up all the way to the back, and I was like, well, you got all these guys here competing for a scholarship, and so you just gotta like perform to your best ability. And so I went out there and stretched, and I feel like I try to do something like not a lot of other people are doing, like speak up, like be a leader, and lead by example. And I would always try to be the first one up to every single drill. I like talk out loud, and just be like, hey, let's go, let's pick it up, and stuff like that. Like try to be like the odd one out, because I feel like that's what most of the like coaches and stuff like that like see out of like a lot of people's character and stuff.
So I'm gonna hit you with some fun and just quick answer kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna keep you all night long. I know you got school tomorrow. Favorite pregame meal? Captain D's.
Yeah, we definitely got it. It's all right. It's okay.
There you go, Cope. That's for you, man. Copenhagen always gives me down the road. Uncle Jerry. He says I'm a chicken. Yes, I would. Amber says that Trey would live on a boat if he could. Well,
I'm good.
We'll see what you need to do then. Make a lot of money playing football. Buy yourself a nice river boat or a houseboat, and you have the best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. You float that dude up next to a good hunting piece of hunting land.
Go out there and hunt,
fish in the summer, hunt in the winter, just on and off the dock.
Sounds good to me.
Lisa Merck says, "Hey, Travon,
how are you?"
Yeah. So, Captain D's is your favorite pregame meal. Who's your favorite NFL player?
Derrick Henry. He plays with that grit too. That's what I like. He was good at Alabama. I got a picture with him when I was younger. I remember looking up to him. Gosh, how tall he was. But yeah, I feel like Derrick Henry is my favorite player.
Who's your favorite lineman?
Right now, Caden Proctor.
Yeah,
I like Caden Proctor.
It's hard not to like him, right now. He's one of many great athletes, but I didn't know he was quite as athletic as he is, the big guy. Wow. Who's your favorite NBA player?
Stephen Curry. I mean, I feel like, I don't know.
It's hard not to like Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a great, personality. His attitude's good. He plays the game with a lot of flair too.
A lot of emotion, too.
Yeah, he does. He's a high energy player. He gives a lot of effort. A lot of people, back in my day, when I was your age, I want to tell you who my two favorite players were. My favorite player in the NFL was Christian Okoye. He played fullback / tailback. We just call him a running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Nigerian Nightmare, they called him. If you've never seen another guy that was great, he was a running back too. He played fullback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His name was Mike Allstott. If you never watched film on Christian Okoye and Mike Allstott, you go do yourself a favor and catch some highlight reels of them. You'll be like, they'll blow your mind. Them dudes are tough. They run the ball physically. They're not as fast as Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry is not as physical as those two guys were. Those two dudes. Derrick's got that stiff arm, and it's like he's got a statue for an arm. Nobody can ever bend that elbow. Once he extends that arm, you can't get close to him. These dudes would hit you so hard, they rattle your ancestors, man. They those two guys, they were vicious, man, and they toted the rock when they did it. They looked for contact. They loved to hit people. Now, Okoye was fast in the open field. If he ever get moving, he was like a steam engine, man. He was hard to bring down. Allstott was not so fast. He had a good, quick first step. He ran the ball with just a lot of burst. He was the guy, he could run the Wildcat before there was a Wildcat. When you needed a yard, that you lined him up at quarterback and double tight end set. But you know what I mean? You just beat people's face into the dirt. You could do that. But a lot of people don't know this about me. I grew up in the area of, in the era of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone. Those guys were, Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight reel. But my favorite player, my favorite NBA player, guy I absolutely loved him, was Hakeem Olajuwon. Mm-hmm. And then David Robinson came along, the Admiral. And I fell in love with, David Robinson. But I fell in love with him because of Hakeem Olajuwon. Those were the guys who played with just relentless pursuit of just perfection. They wanted to be the very best. They were like the Michael Jordans, but they were the guys that got no love because they weren't, David Robinson was the tallest guy I'd ever seen in my life, but he had a weird frame when he was coming out of college. He was a little bit lanky still, but he grew into just a massive, massive human being. But Hakeem Olajuwon was always undersized for a center. I just never thought he was the right size. If he'd have been 25, 30 pounds heavier and about 4 inches taller, he'd have been maybe the greatest center that ever lived. He played with a kind of toughness that Dennis Rodman played with. He was just that tough, but he could score, and he played with his brain. He was as good passing the ball as he was, playing around the basket. He was great. I loved watching that guy play ball. Who was the toughest opponent? Who's the toughest player you ever faced off against?
This year?
Yeah. Well, just probably this year. You started. You've been a full-time starter this year.
Probably number 54 from Central Clay. I forgot his name, but he was pretty good. He gave me a run for my money, but I came in there prepared. Probably that team overall. Mm-hmm. Them, Fort Payne, Mason Chandler. He's a dog. He's pretty good. I think those.
What would a perfect Friday night in Scottsboro look like to you?
Perfect Friday night.
Better think long and hard about this one, Coach Van gonna see it, baby.
Probably all cylinders, like doing all their jobs. Catches are perfect. O-line blocking. Winning by 40.
Yeah, a lot of people like him close games. I don't. I'm a blowout kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we won last Friday on the Gravedigger pass.
Oh yeah.
You know, that round off us. Mo Hart was over there beating fast. I thought I wasn't ever, the thought of losing never crossed my mind, but we were down there. I was like, we're going to overtime. And then, you know, our little freshman quarterback throws one up. And a lot of people don't know we had to make it, we made a change at quarterback after the Scottsboro game this year. And, and hats off to Creed. You know, Creed moved positions and he embraced that, and became, he became an even better leader on our team. You know, moving from quarterback, he just really he moved into some different things and gave us some great looks on offense. Gave us some different options, and they moved him around. And I thought it was amazing how they ended up using him. He embraced that role. He didn't pout about it. He just got there, kept grinding, and working hard, and did what he had to do there. But he moved over to defense, man, and became, like you said, he became a dude, and he really focused on playing defense. And this past Friday night, I was so excited to see him do well because he played a heck of a ball game. Andrew Miller has joined the chat finally. Finally, Andrew got in here late in the game, but he's here. So let me ask. I've been to Scottsboro games, so I know about the music. I used to play the music myself. What's in Travon's headphones before a game? You can be honest.
I'm not gonna
I mean,
lie.
we know it ain't Brandon. Like,
I listen to NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah.
I listen to some country music too. Rod Wave. Yeah, I like listening to Rod Wave and NBA. That's probably the top two.
So ain't no Big X to plug or.
A little bit.
I'm a Big X. I like Big X's music, minus the cuss words.
I wouldn't think that, but okay.
Really? You don't think man?
I wouldn't think it.
Yo, like I'm disappointed that you don't think that about me. It's some of my favorite stuff because I've discovered him with the song Texas that he put out, and then like Levels is one of my favorite songs. I really like it. The Largest, because obviously I'm huge, but people don't think I like that stuff, but I do. I grew up listening to it. I grew up in an era of the first, the original rappers. We had raw bass, and a lot of people don't remember when Will Smith, tried to rap. He actually wasn't all that bad, but it was just kind of, back then it was just different. The time was different. You weren't allowed to do a lot of things, but I still remember, when NWA came, NWA changed everything. The 2 Live Crew harmed NWA. They set NWA back probably. They set hip hop and rap music back just because of the vulgarity. Like a lot of people don't realize, I guess, that, how much music changed. It was, there's not a lot of secular music that's not worldly influenced anyways, but the people who sexualize the stuff, they set the real artists back by, people who sing, who rap, who do things that address real topics and real life, and they make music that touches you, that sits with you for years and years and years, not just club beats and things like that, real music. I was there, Dr. Dre, when that whole split happened, when Ice Cube left. Ice Cube's still one of probably the greatest poets. I know people think of him as a rapper, and he deserves it, but he was a great poet. He was a real lyricist before people even knew what lyricists were. He defined a whole generation, of artists that followed him. People were so jealous of him because he could put words together. Eminem was the next guy, that could do that. He put words together. People don't realize that he just sits in front of a dictionary. Like he was the master of enunciation. People think he's a genius, lyricist. He's really not. He's a master enunciator. He could take words and enunciate them and make them rhyme. And because he can do that, people think that he's brilliant. He's really not smarter than anybody else. He's just very good at enunciation, figuring out words that rhyme. They don't even make any sense, but it sounds cool when he says them together. Snoop Dogg, came in. I was there when he first. A lot of people don't remember the G-Funk era. If you never, they did a documentary about that. If you hadn't got to see that, you ought to watch that. So, I think it's called G-Funk. But there's a line in one of his songs that he sang on his album Doggy Style, and he said, "This is just a small introduction to the G-Funk era. Every day of my life, I take a glimpse in the mirror." I ain't gonna say the rest of it, but anyway. But that whole genre, it was a mix of music from the 70s. They took like disco, what they call funk music. That and funk went from like disco. Rock bands picked it up and started playing funk rock. And it changed to punk rock, which makes me want to vomit in my mouth. But anyway, but that evolved into like alternative music, which kind of wasn't so bad. And then what you see now is like you're seeing a lot of these artists these days are coming back. They're doing collaborations. X is doing a lot of country stuff. He's doing a lot of country stuff. These people are figuring out that their music really isn't all that different anymore. It all is kind of rooted back to that 70s, 80s, early 90s. I always tell people the best music came from my generation because we were the last group that wasn't afraid. We didn't overthink everything. We appreciated what people did and what they contributed, and it made a big difference. I think it's why I like, you're not the only person who's blown away that I know who some of these people are, but like I get it. Matter of fact, I just finished. I sent the
basketball.
The basketball.
Yeah, Tegan was talking about it yesterday.
Did he like it?
He did. He was sitting in the locker room and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is tough."
Well, I did. I worked hard on it. It took me a couple of weeks. I mean, I put a lot of. I mean, I seriously went down. I mean, like, I blew the screen up, huge. Got down to the millisecond, trying to beat Max and stuff like that. Got it. We got where I thought it sounded good.
It too. It sounds good. Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
glad
Thank
you like it. Hey, well, I mean, you're welcome. I enjoy that stuff. Those are things. I think part of the reason I do like what I do. I've told this 100 times. I really enjoy making the experience good for everybody, especially the players. When I played, we weren't allowed to play music. Coach Kirkland let us, after we got ranked number 1 in the state, he let us put up 2 speakers at the corner of Carter Gym, and he let somebody play a cassette tape. And the only 2 songs we were allowed to play was Hammer Time and Too Legit to Quit by MC Hammer. And that's all he let us play. And then we won. And then he let us play a frog. He put in Pumps in a Bump. And we got beat. And we didn't get to play music no more.
Oh, man.
It was great. It was a lot. We look back those days now. We laugh. We have a good time talking about that stuff. But a lot of those guys that I played with are doing the same thing I'm doing. They have found ways to go out into the community, give back. Kenny Hill, he's coaching. Frog, worked with the Boys and Girls Club for years and years and years. I love Frog, man. I go back to my freshman year, his sophomore year. He was a year older than me. Is when I first met him, really got to know him. And we spent a lot of time together playing basketball. Talbert Cox, I ain't seen Talbert in years. We still talk, a little bit on social media, hit each other up. Jason McClure, Jason Arnold, those guys, going to always be. Brad Dudley, you know, was he played. He was a couple years older than me. Him and Jason Tubbs and Jeff Tubbs was our manager, but he was as good a ball player as anybody else. He just never would play, but he could go. Jeff Tubbs was a good basketball player who never stepped on the floor. I don't know why he never went out for the team, but he could play. He just didn't want to for whatever reason. He enjoyed helping behind the scenes. He was always, like I said, he always had a servant's heart, and he's still doing that. He's still working in that, even in the church and at school. He turned into a great guy. Jason Haas, man, I don't know if you ever went back and watched any film on Jason.
I heard he was good.
Jason make you blow snot bubbles, cuz. He's not the dude you want to line up, and he never played. I always thought he would eventually shift out to tackle, but man, he stayed inside and played guard, and he was not the dude you wanted pulling. You know what I'm saying? God, he would beat you to death. I mean, he would just hit you, and it just felt like he just kept hitting you. You know what I mean? He hit you, and he'd keep going. You'd be laying there, and it felt like he was still hitting you. Oh, he was good, man. I always enjoyed playing beside of him, not across from him. That was just the way it was. So, everybody pretty much proud of you. Everybody, that everybody who knows you, he loves you, obviously. I know you got things to do, places to go and whatnot, but what is it about could you imagine Brother James rolling around listening to NWA? Oh, ain't no telling with this, man. Listen, y'all don't really want to know. I used to, it wasn't nothing for me. But anyway, Uncle Jerry, did I ever tell you there was a space of time where Jerry's favorite artist, your papa's favorite artist, was Paula Abdul. Oh yeah, she put out a song called "Cold Hearted Snake." Oh, he loved it. He used to sit in the truck, man, in the pickup. He had this old yellow Dodge pickup truck, and I had the cassette tape. And every time I showed up, he didn't take it from me, but he expected me to have it on me. Every time he showed up, I had a cassette tape. He put that thing in. We ride around. We just sit. He'd kill a battery listening to Paula Abdul sing. He loved Paula. He loved his Paula Abdul. Now, it was great. Those are fond memories, man. Back in the day. He always explained to me what she was talking about, like I ain't know what she was saying.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, listen, man, I can sit here and tell you stories all night. I ain't gonna do it. We gotta get you going. But man, what would you say for anybody who's watching? What would you like to say to 10-year-old Travon? To yourself, if you could go back to your 10-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
To live life day by day. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Stay focused no matter what. Life will throw you curveballs from left and right, up and down. Just stay in a straight line. Don't veer off your path at all. I think that's about it. Yeah.
What would you say? Would you say the same thing to a to a fourth grader, a fifth grader? What would you say to today's somebody who's looking at you, maybe thinking, "I want to be like him"? What advice would you give them?
If you have a goal, make sure you put in the work to do it. Have people behind you to help you to get to that goal. Don't keep pushing. Yeah, keep pushing.
To anybody who's listening that may be going through something, maybe they think they ain't going to get through it. Maybe you got a teammate that's watching this or going to go back and watch this, and they're trying to, they're trying to figure out life, or trying to figure out their next move, or just trying to figure out, who they are.
I would say, just stand there and just think about what is going on, and then like have somebody that you trust and that you can tell them things, and then they won't go behind your back and like shame you or like tell anybody else that information shouldn't be told. Have somebody in your corner. Yeah.
How important is it to have people in your corner?
Very important, because I feel like the man that I am today, if I didn't have people in my corner, I wouldn't be the same man I am right now. I mean, I know like things go wrong, but that's in everybody's life, you know. But like the people that I've had around me, like surround me and in my corner, just like help me like become who I am, be a better man, you know, hopefully provide for their family, like from all the teachers I've got, like really well, and always be there for them. Just like how my family does me the same way, and the people around me.
What would you like to say to your teachers?
Thank you. I know I'm a handful sometimes. No, I ought to be a class clown sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I always thank you for always sticking in there with me. You know, through the days that I'm a dummy, I guess you would say, or just act up, and you know. Just thank you for being there for me, even though sometimes I've had to get sent to the office, you know. Just thank you for always being there for me, though. Give me another chance, you know.
What about your coaches?
Oh, thank you for putting y'all's trust in me. I mean, especially like this year, Coach Van trusts me to play left tackle, you know, for Scottsboro football. He's put his faith in me because he knows that I can do it. He knows I can do it, you know. He knows I can be that guy for him, like any coach, like Coach Page, you know, being a center throughout the whole entire Little League. First year coming out, he just knew what position I needed to play, and he was like, do this, and you got to do that. And he put his trust in me, you know. I don't know, just like, thank you for being there for me, you know.
Well, what about your friends?
Oh, gosh.
No, you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, just thank y'all for being there. Like, same for, like, the coaches, just, like, because I know I've had my fair shares, like, where I'll come in and, like, we'll just be having a conversation, I'll zone out, or, like, I'm not interested, but it's, like, they've always been there. Like, I can just phone a friend anytime. I can just call, like, any one of my buddies. Well, I would say one of my buddies, but, you know, we'll all be joking around probably and get past that. But especially, like, Tegan Harris, Jacoby, you know, all them, like, they're, like, one of my good buds, Dylan. Like, they've always been there for me, even though we get at each other every single day. But, like, I like that, like, a bond just like that. That's, like, one of my brothers, you know, through a day in and day out. So I like that a lot.
What would you like to say to your family?
Thank y'all. Love y'all for building me to who I am, being there for me through football, through anything. When I wrecked my truck and all type of stuff like that, just telling me that it was gonna be okay. Through the ups and downs, always loving me for no matter what, for how I am now, and just making me a better man.
Travon, it's been a pleasure having you
tonight, Thank you, sir.
Man. I appreciate you coming on. I know you had some other stuff you could have been doing, maybe you would have liked to do. I know you had to get that rug cut. You trying to get dolled up for a dance, and I know homecomings are. Let's see, y'all done had homecoming. Y'all haven't seen night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need a haircut. I haven't got a haircut in a while. Papa wants me to go back to a buzz cut. Yeah, I don't know. All my friends have told me to cut and stuff like that. I just can't find the courage to do it.
Man, once this is over with, I'll put I've let my hair grow on the top so I can do some different stuff with it. You know, I just get tired of it being, you know. In the Army, it was, if you got more hair than a bar of soap can clean, you got too much, you know, and I get it. But it's just different, man. I'm having fun fooling around with it. You know, if I don't want to fool around with it, I just throw a hat on and go. But
it's different from when I had a buzz cut, and now my hair, when I put a helmet on, oh my, it takes up so much space. Yeah. It's all getting in my ears and all that stuff like that. I just don't like it. I kind of want to cut it, but, you know, I don't think I'm going to.
I understand.
Yes, sir.
Well, my man, it's been a real privilege, and I wish you the best. I know you got Mars Hill coming up.
Yes, sir.
You know, Thursday's going to be a big game. Got a lot of distractions, things like that you're going to have to work through. it is what it is. I'd love to come, but it's homecoming for us
Yes, sir.
up in North Jackson. So I'm going to be up there doing what we do. But I am rooting for you. Hope you do well. And I hope you guys win by 50.
I hope so, too.
It'd be great. I just hope you win. I don't care if it's by 1 or by 50. I just like for it to be by 50. But I want y'all to stay healthy and wish you good luck in the playoffs, man. You're going to be a number 1 seed. I was looking at a thing the other day. If you guys can, hold the fort and play your game, you got a real shot, legitimate shot to make a run all the way, to the semis. But,
best line on the wall, yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good deal, man. It's exciting things going on in your life and the lives of your teammates and friends, and the future looks good, and life's pretty good right now. We're not trying to jinx it, but we praise the Lord for it. And
yes, sir.
I just want to say before we get out of here, man, I told your sister Sunday, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you. It got too emotional, for me in there. But I don't really like that stuff. But I did say something to her, and I want to say it to you. And I don't care if it's private, but it's not. I spent a great number of years severed, from a lot of family, still severed from a lot of family. I don't necessarily like it, but it is what it is. Don't wish any ill on nobody, contrary to popular opinion. It just is what it is. But to have you guys, in my life to the degree that you're in my life, it's been, I don't expect you to understand, but I hope you do understand just how happy I am to have you guys have really changed my life. You opened up, the world to me in a different way that stretches far beyond, the boundaries that the world tells us we have to have. But just having people around, man, that just genuinely love being around is life changing. And you guys, I have that bond with Jerry. I always felt like, me and your mom, your aunt and uncle, we always got along good. I don't feel any type of way, about them. But I don't have with anybody else, any of my other cousins, what I have with you and Tia. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I want you to know that if it was just one-sided, I wouldn't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I really, really, I don't just appreciate you guys being in my life, but I appreciate you guys letting me be in yours. And I may not ever get to say that to you again. I want to make sure I say it to you
yes,
now.
Sir.
I am very, very proud of you. Very proud of who you are. Very proud of what you stand for. And I am. If you ever feel like somebody ain't rooting for you, you got a fan. In me, I'm always gonna be rooting for you. I want you to do well,
yes, sir.
In life, and if I can do anything to help you, I'd be glad to do it. I appreciate you helping me.
Yes, sir.
Of
course.
You made it not very fun, and I'm
Yes,
glad
sir.
it's been light and a lot of fun, man. And I'm glad the people who watch me who didn't really know you, they got a chance tonight to kind of look into your life a little bit and see you, not just as just a kid in the church or not just as a football player, but to see who you are and what you like, and you're just a regular guy like the rest of us, man.
Yes, sir.
And it's special. I really appreciate you. I love you, man.
Thank you. Love you too.
Well, guys, we do appreciate you being on with us. Come back with us next Tuesday night, Lord's will. We're going to be here 2 more weeks, and then basketball starts on the 18th. So I'm going to be kind of out of pocket for the podcast, but I will. I know I said it last time, but we were building a church and I couldn't. But I will be back to doing the podcast when basketball season is over. So 2 more weeks. We'll be doing it next week's election night, actually. I'm going to try to stay out of the politics. We're going to talk about life and love and friendship and all the fun stuff. We'll be back, one more time. If you hadn't already, like and share. It greatly helps me beat the algorithm. And go over to my YouTube channel. This will be uploaded before Friday, or it'll probably be tomorrow. I'll have this up on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to share it, anywhere. Facebook will delete it after 30 days, so it'll be gone from there. But go over there when it gets YouTube and share it around, and clip it. Find some good excerpts. Anything will help. But until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. And may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Travon, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Thank y'all for tuning in. Listen to me a little bit. I mean, I know I was a little handful probably, but just thank you for having me on here, James. Man, I love you.
I love you too, buddy. If you're not a handful, I promise you, if you go back and listen to those 2 episodes I did with Brandon Gamble, you'll find out what a handful looks like. He's a whole bucket load. Man. All right, guys, and we're out of here. Till next time, God bless you.